A sustainable approach in construction is key for reducing environmental impact, cutting carbon emissions and ensuring lasting economic and social benefits. Malcolm Construction prioritises sustainability through their operations and initiatives that drive economic growth, job creation and support for local supply chains.
Grandpa was a very hands-on, very hard worker, and my gran from Lewis came with some very strong people value, and between the two of them they really started off what was Malcolm's back in 1922.
From a small family business with just a horse, cart and a single lorry to a major industry player, Malcolm Construction, part of the Malcolm Group, is one of the UK's largest providers of civil engineering, plant, transportation and waste management, and supplies both primary and recycled aggregate to meet the growing demand for sustainable building materials. Their integrated services provide customers with a one-stop shop with value at the heart. Now, as they look to the future, they're combining family values with cutting-edge technology to enhance the sustainability of not only their operations, but of their customers too.
We want to try and get zero waste to landfill. That's our key objective in life. It's the right thing to do. Nearly £5 million been invested over the last 4 years, more than there'll be next year again. That is the future. And again, you'll see what we do with our trucks as well. No, they're unloaded in, they're unloaded out. And it should in turn give our customers the right value, the right quality at the right price.
Here at the New Paisley Grammar School, led by principal contractor Morrison Construction, Malcolm Construction's one-stop shop approach is evident. And they're driving the industry towards a greener future by eliminating empty runs and recycling waste soil.
Before we start any sort of project with regards to groundworks, we will understand the makeup of the ground through geotechnical testing, chemical analysis. We can then decide if that material would be suitable to be brought here. So if it is, we can bring it here, which would be loading in to Loanhead, and we can drop it off and it can be processed through the wash plant, which will then produce recycled aggregates. That same truck on the way back out from Loanhead will have either a primary aggregate or a secondary aggregate, the recycled type, which will then be delivered either back to the site for use or to another construction site. The real benefit of that, and what makes it slightly more unique, is we avoid empty running. So if we can avoid unnecessary empty runs from vehicles on the road, we're reducing our fuel intensity, we're reducing our carbon. If we can reduce the volume of vehicles on the road, we're also reducing our congestion, we're also reducing impacts on air quality.
Back at Loanhead Quarry and central to every civil engineering project they're involved with, this state-of-the-art wash plant, one of two multi-million-pound investments over the past decade.
Before Malcolm Group invested in these wash plants, all of this would have gone straight to landfill instead of being turned into useful recycled aggregate.
This is our CDE wash plant. This machine here recycles construction and demolition excavation waste. This plant has the capabilities of washing up to 500,000 tonnes per year, and that material was currently going to landfill. So it's a huge diversion from landfill, and we're putting that material back into the circular economy for reuse in construction projects.
They say recent investment in a new CFCU within the plant demonstrates they're responding to the industry's need for a recycled sand, particularly for use in concrete, which will not only help in reducing waste, but in preserving natural resources.
The rate we're using sand at the moment, the natural sand resource will run out in 2050. So I think that's a huge turning point in why we should be using recycled aggregates where possible.
We understand that primary aggregates from the quarry are still going to be needed, that we're not going to replace them all with recycled versions. However, we want to be able to collaborate and engage with contractors, with industry members to make that choice and to try and help that. What we want to do is preserve the value of the primary aggregate and make sure it keeps in the value chain for as long as possible.
We've been in business now for 100 years. We plan on being in business for another 100 years. Going forward, we feel that the investment we've put into this wash plant is going to help us do that, and we still mean to invest greatly in the future.
It's a goal that's helping to shape a construction industry that's not only profitable but sustainable. And as they look to the next century, it's clear that Malcolm Construction's commitment to people, the planet and partnerships remains at the heart of everything they do.